It's ringing. So good evening, Internet. My name is Alex Davis, and if you didn't know that already, where have you been for the last 10 years? So tonight, we're going to do something a tiny bit different from what we normally do on this channel. We're going to end up calling some of my friends completely out of nowhere, out of the blue, and paying them compliments. Why? Because we can. Let's see how this goes.
Hi.
It's Kailey. I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you.
Aw, I appreciate you too.
Do you remember how we met?
We met in 2013. It was at Mark East, which is like a week-long intensive Bible study thingamajig at a camp near Fredericton.
It's really long.
Yeah, very intense. What is it, like 9 hours of Bible study a day or something? Alex wasn't in my Bible study, so the first time I met Alex it was like free time and we were outside, and I'd met Mark.
You should back up and explain the fact that you saw me before you met me.
I guess I technically didn't meet you right here. You know where I'm going. I walk up to this bench, and there's Mark and there's Alex on the bench. They're singing the Turtle song.
Link below.
So like everyone watching is just like laughing their butts off. But I do remember sitting at a different time, like sitting at a picnic table. I think I was like journaling or something, and you came over to me and started telling me your whole life story.
Which was quite long at that point for a 19-year-old.
Man, that's kind of a weird way to meet somebody if you think about it. Like you just come up to them and you just start venting.
What you don't realize is that's how most of my friendships start.
Yeah, and I remember on the last day, I think you were like, hey, come here for a second, and we took a picture together. The iconic moment.
You can actually see little horns coming out of my hair.
And then I don't think me and you talked for like a while. I posted some sort of status along the lines of like a to be honest or something stupid like that, which I don't normally post. You responded to it and you were like, come back into my life. And that started our like iconic Skype calls back in the day. Remember when people used to actually use Skype? Would pick a quote from each one and put it on Facebook, and
yes.
No one would understand anything. That's where the Minute Rice thing came from. I remember you didn't even really know what it meant for a while, but it was just like, you know, we were friends instantly. I don't remember the first time we hung out. Was it back at Acadia?
I think it was the time you guys came in during the strike. Didn't you hurt your leg at some point doing that?
It was winter and it was really icy, and we were like walking somewhere, and I think, didn't I fall in the middle of the road?
I don't think I was with you at that point.
And I hurt my leg quite a bit, and we were back in your dorm, and like I think like a whole whack of us were just in your room, and then someone done burned their rice. So we
and then there was this massive fire drill, which actually
it wasn't really a fire drill because there was an actual fire. Anyways, my leg hurt real bad, and I was like, I didn't want to move, and then we had to do the stupid fire drill, and I had to go back outside. Then I came back in, and basically you got me with my like sore leg, and I'm pretty sure like I was in tears.
The RA was involved because I forgot my key.
He thought that you were taking a drunk girl into her room. That sounds so bad.
Which I was not, by the way. Like, Kailey doesn't even drink.
I've never had a drop of alcohol in my life.
Can you imagine walking onto that scene and seeing that and being like, okay, what is happening here? It was completely above board, people. Andy Balzer, how you doing?
Okay, so you did mean to call me.
You thought I was gonna pocket dial you, Andy?
I wasn't expecting a call from you.
Note to self, next time, butt dial Andy.
Hi, Internet. I'm Andy, but you probably already know all about me.
Friend, I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you. I appreciate your friendship, I appreciate you as a human being, and I hope that you're well.
Thank you.
Do you remember how we met?
Yeah, I think it was at the chapel. Like, I met Pelham at the chapel, and then we, like, went to go fetch you.
This was at Acadia, for full disclosure. The first memory I have of you, which is completely different from your experience, I think was during the $5 dance party where like everyone at the Acadia Christian Fellowship came and we gave $5 bills to everyone to just show up. They didn't even have to stay that long, but they just showed up. And then I remember later that night somehow, I think was it you or me that ended up in the dog costume. I think the best time that I've ever had with you was when we did that Paul Rudd and Cheese video that whole weekend where I ended up like inadvertently like staying at your place for like 4 days for no apparent reason. What is your best memory of Andy and Alex?
I mean, I feel like it's more like general things. Like, I often had fun when we'd have these conversations where, you know, you'd say something and then I respond to it, and then it's like turned into this whole like ridiculous thing, and you're getting all like reactive about it. And
Is this about the Doctor Who thing where you watched one episode and decided you didn't like it?
yeah, I actually ended up watching several episodes of Doctor Who.
I mean, to fully understand the concept of the show, you need to watch at least one season. You only watched a few episodes, completely out of context.
We'd have conversations like this where you'd say something like that and be like, oh, that's fine. And then I'd be like, yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, that did happen a lot. How is Mr. Glasses, by the way?
It's then on my left here. Yeah, my office is having like a virtual pet costume contest. Coworkers who have pets are like submitting photos of the pet that people are gonna vote on. Anyways, I got a photo of Mr. Glasses that I submitted.
I'm glad you're well, friend.
Thanks for calling.
Hello, Pelham Flower Dew.
Good evening.
How are you doing, friend?
I'm doing fine. Life is good. Probably truthfully, we first met at meal hall or walking around campus or something. You met my brother probably first, and then you met me as a result. My first real memory would be within that first week. I think you came to watch Frisbee games at like midnight.
I'll be honest with you, the first time that I remember meeting you, it was in the Acadia Student Union, and the first time you and I actually ever had a full-on conversation, I was trying to decide whether I wanted to join the Acadia Christian Fellowship. I had some reservations about it. I remember that you weren't actually going to be there that night, but you had stopped in and you were leaving. And I remember you had just really sort of encouraged me to actually go up there. I sort of attribute my involvement in that particular group, for those particular 4 years, to you. Because if it wasn't for you having said that, and I don't think I've ever said this to you before, if it weren't for that conversation with you and your motivation to actually have me do that, I don't think I would have.
This makes me so curious. What event was it?
I think it was just a large group Friday. No, I'll tell you which one it was, and if she's watching this, she's going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It was either Davida or Robin's testimonial.
Did you enjoy the event?
You know, surrounded by people who you don't know.
Sure.
There's always that sort of anxiety, but I think
Oh, yes.
overall it was a good experience.
Yeah, interesting.
But I'm really glad that I did.
Oh boy, Alex. I have a lot of memories that I've probably chosen to suppress.
Namely, the boyfriend video.
Well, actually, I was going to say something about funny videos. I really enjoyed that time I hijacked your video. At least that was my interpretation of what happened.
That is a classic.
I made all the questions about sloth, and you didn't expect that. And it kind of seemed to throw you off a little bit.
Yep. That video, I will admit, is probably the most iconic video of those 4 years, other than the Subway rap. Primarily because of the fact that you did hijack it, and it did start the "Why are you obsessed with sloth" thing. By the way,
Not obsessed with sloth.
You'll take that to the grave.
you have no idea how far that's followed me.
Alex, where did it all start for you? Like, where did this whole sloth thing really come from?
It started with you, and you will never admit that. Thanks, Pelham.
Oh, you're welcome.
Like, I did not think that video was going to do that well.
Yeah, well, I understand just how popular I am.
Did you have any final words for us before I let you go?
Well, I always enjoy having the last word. Just, for me, straight to the heart of the internet. Internet, I miss you. Internet, you mean a lot to me. Internet, I wish you would reach out more. And, Alex really has to get this whole sloth thing under control. Have a great night.
It's not